Yogaha Karmasu Kaushalam.
Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Mamta Brahmvat welcoming you all again in my last session, which is practical today. So in today's session, we are going to start with SPSS software. In my previous session, we have covered various methods of hypothesis testing, like what is univariate analysis, what is bivariate analysis, and what are the multivariate techniques available for hypothesis testing. So in previous session, we have discussed what are the measurement skills required for performing the various types of the hypothesis technique. In today's session, I am going to start with the software, and first we'll create the variable view, and then I'll take you to the data view, and then we'll discuss what are the options available under the SPSS software. So before I start my session, let me share the screen of SPSS so that you can view all the menus. Yes, I hope this screen is visible to you. Okay, now this is the software. This software, it is SPSS software. SPSS stands for Statistical Package for Social Science. SPSS software, it is a software of IBM company. This is the licensed version available for the researcher. Many researchers, they are using crack version also. If you are not having this version of SPSS, then you can download the trial version of SPSS and you can conduct the various statistical data analysis using this trial version also. Now, SPSS, it is used for data analysis. Okay. In SPSS, if you see that there are two windows, this is variable view and another view, it is data view. So variable view and data view. Now, what is variable view? Variable view is nothing but you have to create a performer of your questionnaire. Clear? Whatever the questionnaire you have prepared in Google document or in a Word document, that questionnaire you need to type here with proper codes. Clear? So for each variable you have given some codes that you have to enter here. So variable view, in the simplest language, I am saying that it is nothing but your questionnaire. It is a performer of your questionnaire. Once you will get the questionnaire filled by the respondent, you will be doing the data entry here in the data view. Now, let us discuss one by one all the columns available under the variable view. If you see the first variable view, the first column, it is name. Academicians, they are entering in this column the question numbers. Yeah, you can also enter the question number in the column title name. But here, normally we are entering the short description of your question. Clear? So under the column label, we are entering the whole question. The short summary of that particular question, we are entering in the column title name. Say for an example, if I'm doing something on a service quality, then entire question of service quality, I will enter in the column of label. And in place of name, I can write SQ. That is a short description of a whole question. That is the SQ. As academicians, I can suggest that you can enter the question numbers also like this, question underscore 1. SPSS, it is not taking the blank space, so you can use underscore. So question underscore 1, question underscore 2. Clear? This way you can enter the variable. If you do not want to enter like this, then you can enter the short description of your whole question like SQ. It is what? It is nothing. I'm trying to say, I'm trying to ask the question relating to service quality perception. Yeah. So then writing the whole question will be under the column label. Now, in the first column, either you enter the question number or you can enter the very small description summary of a whole question here. Now, what is the next question table? What is the next column? The next column, it is nothing but it is a type. Clear? So if you click on type, the three small dot that is visible to you all, if you click on that, then you will find many options here. By default, SPSS, it is taking the numeric value as a variable type. But if you want to change from a numeric to some other, then you have to change it from here. Say for an example, I want to write the name of the respondent or the address of the respondent. Clear? So name and address, it is not in the code. No numerical codes are assigned to name and the address. These are the variables I need to enter in alphabets. Clear? So that variable, it is known as a string variable. Clear? So then you have to change it from numeric to string. There are other options available, you can explore also. Okay. Now what is width? Now width, it is nothing but it is a maximum number of the character to be allowed for each response. That is the width. Decimal, the number of decimal places for a numeric variable. So if you have a variable, how many decimal points you require? 0, like 1.00, 1.000. What way you want to display your variable, numeric variable. Labels. I have already discussed labels, but now if I have to say precisely, then labels, it is nothing but it is a display of name for the variable. It is the display name for the variable. Unlike the name variable, the label may contain spaces or special characters. Yeah. So if you want, then you can include some special character, you can contain, because your question when you are typing, space are allowed. Next, values. For list of the valued options, you have a questions, and for that question you have valued options. Say that is multiple choice options or multiple choice list for the variable can be created with the help of the values. Yeah. So you have one function, one column here, values. You have some multiple choice options available for a particular variable that can be entered with the column values. Missing. Value being missed. Value being used when response is not applicable or not answered. I'm repeating one more time. What is the use of a missing column? So missing column, it is nothing but the value being used when response is not applicable or response is not answered. Columns. Yeah. Now columns is the width. It is a width of the data column. For this, the variable in number of character does not affect the data. Anyway, this is not going to affect the data. Alignment, you can keep it data like center alignment, left alignment, right alignment. Yeah. Now the next column you have, it is the measurement. So what are the levels of measurement? So in my theoretical class, we have discussed like measurement scale, nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. SPSS, it is taking three options like nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. Combinedly, we are saying it is a scale. So SPSS, that is interwriting scale. Yeah. Now, all this last column is not that much important, so I'm not discussing. So this all columns are used when you want to prepare your variable view. Yeah. So variable view, how to create the variable view? There are four measurement scale like nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. I'll take the example of each one of these and along with the string variable so that you will get an idea how to enter the data or how to create the variable view. Now, normally whenever you are preparing the questionnaire, your first question is name of the respondent. Clear? So then you can write here, I'm writing, then you can write here in the column name of the respondent. Yeah, name, with and everything. First of all, I have to write that variable view, name, clear. Now, label, it is nothing but the whole question. So then you can write the name of the respondent. Clear? Name of the respondent. Now here there is no need to define values because value-based questions is not there. Clear? The second question, it is I want to ask the gender. So this way you can write, or you can write the question number 1 also. So I can change it from here also. I am writing like this, question number 1. Then the second question, I am writing question 2. There, gender. So here you can write the gender of the respondent. Clear? Now, gender, you have a multiple option question also. Like 1, it is you are using for male, 2, it is you are using for female. So here you have to write the value labels. Yes, so click on this 3 dot enter 1 is equal to what? 1 is equal to male, add 2, 2 is equal to female. If you have third more category like transgender, you can include that and you can add and then okay. Clear? Now you have to make the changes here in measurement scale also. Like measurement scale, my first question, it is nominal. Gender is also nominal. Clear? I have discussed nominal. What are the characteristics of nominal? Now question number 3. I am entering question number 3. Now I am interested in knowing the educational qualification. Educational qualification of respondent. Clear? So this is also I am keeping as the categorical question. So this is the categorical question. Now this categorical question, like one code I am using for UG undergraduate, 2 code I am using for PG, so 2 is equal to PG, and 3 I am using for PhD, add and okay. Clear? The educational qualification, it is in increasing format. So then I'll write it as the ordinal question. Now question number 4. I want to know the satisfaction level of the respondent. Clear? I'm taking the feedback. And in feedback, I am interested in knowing the satisfaction level of the individual. So then I will write satisfaction. You please write the whole question. I am not writing. Yeah? So you have to rate your satisfaction on 1 to 5 Likert scale, where 1 is equal to this and 5 is equal to that. That way you enter the whole question. Yeah? Now here also I have to write what is my 1. So 1 is equal to, I am writing, it is highly dissatisfied, add 2 is equal to dissatisfied, D. You write highly dissatisfied, that way. Okay, I'm not writing that way, but you have to write 3 is equal to my neutral position. Clear? 4 is equal to satisfied. 4 is equal to satisfied. 5 is equal to highly satisfied. Highly satisfied. Clear? So now this is the interval question. Press OK. So again, I have to change my measurement scale. And now it is a scale question. Okay. Now, question number 4, I am interested in knowing the age of the respondent. Yeah. But the age, I don't want to give the category. I want to keep it open-ended. So when it is an open-ended question, the respondent, they will enter their age. So my measurement scale, measurement parameter, it is a scale question. Yeah. So now, in your questionnaire, you can use nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. And you can use the string variable question also. So all the 5 types of the questions I have shown you how to enter in the variable view. So similar way you have to enter all the questions. So variable view will be created. Clear? I am showing only 5 questions because with this 5 questions you will get an idea how to create the variable view. Yeah. Now here we have written something on 1 to 5 Likert scale. You can use copy. Say for example you want to do factor analysis. And factor analysis, you have 50 statements, and all 50 statements you are measuring on 5 Likert scale. Yeah. So 50 question multiplied by 50 option. Imagine how many types you have to enter. Don't worry, SPSS is having this copy function. So you just enter all the questions here under the label, and then you can use copy. You can copy here. So for an example, I am writing question number 6 here. And then I am writing my satisfaction regarding the salary satisfaction of for 6th pay or 7th pay. So then I am writing this way. Clear? You can paste here. Clear? So this, see, I have not entered this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It is automatically created because I have copied this function. So if you have like 50 statement, and if you have to on everything on a 9 Likert point, then 50 into 9, 450. Yeah, that many times you have to write highly dissatisfied, satisfied, neutral, not satisfied, and so on. But with this function, you can use copy paste. You can use copy paste, and then you can generate your value labels accordingly. Now, data view. What is a data view? I'm going to discuss. It is nothing but the entry of your questionnaire. This is the questionnaire you have created. So variable view, it is nothing but the questionnaire view. All the questions you have typed here with the value labels. Now you are collecting the information. Once you collect the information, you have responses available. So you can open that questionnaire and then you can enter the things. Now the first question, it is name. I'm entering my name. Let us enter my name, and I'm knowing that it will not display Mamta. Yes, you can see that I have entered my name, but once I use this button, it is disappearing. Yeah. One more time I'm writing Dr. Mamta. Let us check it is visible. When I'm clicking on the second column, it disappears. You know the reason why? Because here I have used the numeric data type. Clear? So alphabet, when you want to enter the alphabet, numeric, you have to change from string. So now I am writing this name. It is a string variable. Press OK and then try. Now I am typing the first respondent name. It is Mamta. Oh, sorry, I have to write my name. So it is, I have entered my name, Mamta. So it is not disappearing. Why? Because now it is I have used as a string. The second variable, the second question, it is gender. So gender, I am female. So that is the second code I will use. Clear? So I will take my category female 2. Third, it is the education qualification. Education qualification PhD. So I am entering 3. The fourth one, it is the, I think it is a satisfaction rate. I am neutral. So then I'll write 3. No, I think, yes, it is 3. Fifth, it is the age of the respondent. So I'll enter 42. Again, the salary satisfaction, it is on 1 to 5 Likert scale. I'll enter 4. Yes. So this way, first questionnaire entry, it is done. If it is a second question, then I will enter, like my second respondent is Joshi ji. Yeah, so Jagdish Joshi, that is the second respondent. Now he is a male candidate, so I will enter 1. Yes. Now the third is the educational qualification. I know doctor, so I will enter 3. Next, it is a satisfaction from him, maybe 4. Age of the respondent, I am assuming that his age, it is 46. And salary satisfaction, I will write 5. So second questionnaire entry, it is done. So this way I have to enter. So once you complete the first row, that means the first questionnaire is done. Similarly, when you are completing 100 rows like this, that indicates that there are 100 respondents in your survey and you have entered all the respondents with this data view. Okay, so I hope this data view and variable view is clear to you. Now, what are the options available under the various menu of SPSS? So, if you want to perform any statistical technique, whether it is a univariate, bivariate, or multivariate, you can take the help of the analyze menu. Yeah. So, under the analyze menu, there are many options available. With this option, you can try all the statistical technique. Before using the analyze menu, you can use transform also. So transform variable, what are the options available? You can compute, the first option, it is compute variable. So using compute variable, you can give serial number. Yes. So then you can press all here. You can use case number. Yeah. And you, yes, yeah, you can drag this, you can use this arrow. Then, yes. So this way, okay, you have to give a target variable name also. So this could be the serial number. Okay. And then you press OK. Yes, again, now go back to the file, the variable view. Clear? So variable view, you will find that the serial number, it is there. Clear? So serial number, it is automatically generated. So then you can drag this and you can keep that variable first. Now, importance of creating the serial number is that if sometimes you are arranging the data, clear? If sometime you are arranging the data on the basis of some other variable, so then the order may change. Maybe it is descending, ascending order. That way, if you are arranging that, the order may change. Let us see here. I am entering the third responses. The third response, I will use Vivek here. So third response is male candidate. He is also PG, so I'm entering 2. He is satisfied 5. Age, it is 28. Clear, 28, and he is satisfied 4. Clear. So now this is the variable view. Before that, you have to create it. After that, I have created. Yes, so serial number, it will come. So once you generate all the entry, after that, you have to create the serial number way. Clear. So now, if you use the, you can use the, you can arrange the data like this. Go to transform function. Okay, I think it is in data. Data, in data you can use sort cases, clear. Then you want to arrange as per the age, clear. I want to arrange this data file as per the age. Ascending order I want to use, okay, press okay. Go back to your data view. Yes, see here, Vivek has got the lowest age, so then his response it is first, then Mamta's response, and then Josh's response. Clear? So if you are thinking that these are the serial number, no, it is not serial number. It is just the entry. So now my first serial number, you can see that Vivek, it is at first place, but that questioner number, it is 3. Yes, that questioner number, it is 3. I am at the second position, but that questioner number, it is 1. So later on, after doing everything, if you are creating data views and if you are doing this ascending and descending, and then you want to check, yes, what is this response? So then from serial number, you can check this, yes, this is the serial number 3. You can open your questionnaire, you can check that the serial number 3, and then whatever the left out, that missing variable can be entered here. So once you receive your physical form questionnaire, just you give numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that way you can tally from here. Yeah, so this is a soft copy. In the hard copy, if you want to tally, then you can tally. So if there's someone, say for an example, Joshi sir has not given the response to some of the question. Now, if you want to open his questionnaire, then you will know that this questionnaire, it is the questionnaire number 2. You can open the questionnaire number 2 and then you can call that person and you can convert the non-response into response. Clear? So this way serial number can be generated. So there are many options available in the SPSS. One I have showed you. So you can calculate compute variable also. Many students, they are calculating the submitted variable, submitted score. So submitted score can be calculated using this function, using this calculator. So it is available under compute variable only. Yes. Now, one more thing under the transform variable, like you can use the visual binning. This visual binning and record into different variable, it is used for converting your scale question into categorical questions. Yes, if you have a scale question and later on your supervisor or the there is a need arises that you want to convert the scale question into categorical question, then you can use this visual binning or record into different variable function. Using this function, you can convert your scale question into categories. Yeah. So I have a one scale question, it is age of the respondent. So age of the respondent, it is a scale question. Later on, if I want the category in that, I can use that function. Now, when you see these numbers, it is 1.00, 2.00, I dislike this. Clear? So if you want to make it simple, 1, 2, 3, 4, then I can remove the decimal points. How? You can click here in decimals and then you can keep it 0. Yes, this size you can, then you can keep it at 0. So then automatically all the decimal points displayed there will be changed. So that is the way you can change it. Now you go to data view. Yes, see, earlier it is 1.00, 2.00, now it is 1, 2, 1, and so on. Okay. So this way you can create a variable view. This way you can create the data view. Some of the transform function you should use before doing the data analysis. So these are the functions using that you can clean your data. Go to analyze. Now in analyze, many options are available. Like you can use descriptive statistics. Under analyze, it is a descriptive statistics. If you click on descriptive statistics, click on frequencies. Yeah. So you can drag all the questions here, Control A, and you can create a frequency distributions. Yeah. So in the frequency distribution tables, you will get the percentage, cumulative percentage, frequency of the respondent. You can prepare the charts also. So the chart option is there. Then available charts are format are bar chart, pie chart, histogram, continue. So that way you can prepare the charts also using that. So function analyze, descriptive statistics. Using these, you can create the frequency distribution. You can create the various types of chart. You can also calculate some of the descriptive statistics like what is called mean, standard deviation, kurtosis, then the skewness, maximum, minimum, range. If you want to calculate such thing, then also you can use this function and you can calculate this way. Clear? So this way you can calculate these some statistical functions on that. Okay, here from here you can create a PP plot and QQ plot. PP plots and QQ plots are useful for determination of normality. So if you want to prepare the normal distribution, then you can use it from here. Okay. Now, in the theoretical session, we have covered like what are the mean tests available. Like one sample t-test, you can use it when you have a univariate data analysis. You can make the differences of mean analysis using independent sample t-test and using ANOVA. So all these options are available under compare mean. Compare mean, if you click, then if you have ANOVA question, click on that ANOVA. Your test variable, it is a scale variable, you can insert in the list independent list, and under the factor list, you can include your categorical question, and then you can run the ANOVA. So all the analysis of mean, comparison of mean, it is available under analyze, compare mean. So using that family of t-tests and ANOVA can be conducted. Now, correlate function, it is available under analyze, correlate, and you can use bivariate correlation. Below correlation, you have regression function also. So if you want to draw the regression line, linear line, then you can select your dependent question and you can select your independent question. If you want to do a multiple regression, then multiple regression, all set of independent variable can be inserted here, and then you can run the independent sample. Now, what else available under this? Okay. Under the regression, one more function I'll suggest that you can use binary logistic regression here. One more software you can see here at Process. Yes. So this is, you can add in your software SPSS. Using this, if you have a mediating and moderating variable, and if you want to check the interaction relationship between the two, you can use this software Process. Okay. We have seen that one method, data reduction method and data summarization method, that is factor analysis. So that it is available under analyze, dimension reduction, and factor. Clear? All the items, all the scale question, you have to keep it here, and then you can run, you can use this all options, and then you can run the factor analysis from the menu. Yeah. Okay. Non-parametric methods are available here. Under analyze non-parametric methods, go to legacy dialog, and then you can apply all the non-parametric tests here. Like we have seen that what is the man-witness U-test. Yes, here see man-witness U-test. Okay, then you can use that Kruskal-Wallis test. The Kruskal-Wallis test and everything are available here. So you can check it from this menu. Yeah, see Kruskal-Wallis test. Okay, so non-parametric, if you want to check the assumptions, like the data it is normally distributed or the data follows randomness or not, for that also you can use the non-parametric statistics. See here, one sample case test. So one sample case test, it is used for checking the normality, and run test, it is used for checking the randomness of the data. So using the non-parametric test option, the assumption test is also carried out. Run test and normality can be done with this. Yeah. So these are the various options available under the SPSS. So all the tests, almost t-test, ANOVA, regression, correlation, factor analysis, non-parametric tests, what are the options available under the analyze menu that we have discussed? Yeah. So in today's session, we have discussed various types of tests available under which menu, how to use the transform function, how to create the variable view, how to enter the data view. So this is all about the SPSS software. I have planned my session that within one session, I can give the overview of all the techniques. So what are the options available under the analyze menu that we have discussed? Yeah. SPSS, it is a very easy software, highly used by researcher for data analysis. All univariate, multivariate, bivariate, graphical representation, checking the assumption, everything can be done with the help of the SPSS software. Yeah. So one more option I forgot to tell you, you can use this IBM SPSS MMOS. So when you want to do a model building, yeah, when you want to check the validity types of the validity. For that, when you want to prepare a model, then you can, that time you can use this MOS software. So using this MOS factor, you can also run the confirmatory factor analysis. Yeah. So these are the options available under the analyze. We have discussed all the options in detail. If you have any query, please mail me at mamtabrahma23@gmail.com. Thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed today's session. Thank you all.
थैंक यू ममता ब्रह्मभट्ट जी, आपने अपने कीमती समय को हमारे साथ संजोया है। आपके इस सेशन से मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स को कुछ न कुछ सीखने को मिला होगा और आपके इस अनुभव के निचोड़ के तौर पे आपने अपना व्याख्यान जो हमें यहाँ दिया है वो पूरा, हालांकि इस कोविड-19 की सिचुएशन में अभी ये वन वे कम्युनिकेशन जैसा लगता है, लेकिन ममता जी की जो स्टाइल है उससे मेरे ख्याल से आप हम सभी को ये टू वे कम्युनिकेशन जैसा फील 100% आया होगा। So I'm really thankful to Mamta Brahmabhat ji for this wonderful lecture. On behalf of HRDC Gujarat University, ममता जी, मैं आपका अभिनंदन करती हूँ, धन्यवाद करती हूँ और हमारे गुरु दक्षता प्रोग्राम के सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स का भी तहे दिल से हार्दिक अभिनंदन करती हूँ और सबका धन्यवाद करती हूँ। फ्रेंड्स, जैसे कि हमें पता है अभी कोविड-19 की सिचुएशन में हमें इस प्लेटफॉर्म में ही मिलना है और हम ये डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म से ही हमारी ये टीचिंग लर्निंग की जो जर्नी है उसको हम आगे बढ़ाने का ये हमारा HRDC गुजरात यूनिवर्सिटी का सर्वप्रथम प्रयास है। ये पूरा प्रयास हमारे डायरेक्टर प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर जगदीश जोशी जी की गाइडेंस में चल रहा है। हमारी पूरी टीम HRDC की और हमारा टेक्निकल सपोर्टिव जो हमारी सिस्टम है उन सभी का आज मैं धन्यवाद करती हूँ। मेरे कलीग प्रोफेसर CG ब्रह्मभट्ट जी और हमारे जो भी सहायक बने हैं इस कोर्स को आप तक पहुंचाने में, उन सभी का मैं HRDC गुजरात यूनिवर्सिटी की ओर से धन्यवाद करती हूँ। थैंक यू वन एंड ऑल।